Hi everyone. So recently there's some people commenting on my videos about complaining this Evercross H5 electric scooter. So not sure why there's a trend over there. But anyway, today I'm gonna show you or tell you some of my issues and complaints on this Evercross H5, especially this new one, second generation. I have the O1 for over 4 months, so some of the complaints and issues happen on the O1 as well. But anyway, there are 10 issues and complaints, so let's get started. So I'm gonna start with the more major ones first. So the first or the major one that I have is the seat. So the seat, a lot of people complain that it doesn't stay in place. It kind of falls down. I don't have this issue because I set it to the lowest setting so it doesn't fall, but I'm not sure if you go higher it would probably fall if especially if you're too heavy. This thing I put it to the tightest settings, like I cannot go any tighter. However, like right now is already the tightest, but this seat top can still turn. I mean, I try to tighten this myself as tight as possible, but let me try to show you here. As you can see, it can still turn even though this thing is tightened to the tightest setting. So the reason for that is, as you can see, I can turn this one hand, because this thing, not sure if you can see it here, so this thing only grips this metal part over here, but the thing that is turning is the inside post over here. So there's nothing I can do over here. There's no screws or nothing to tighten this. I tried to tighten it myself, but that's as tight as I could get. The center part, it still turns. So it doesn't matter how tight I hold this, because it only holds into this outer metal part. It doesn't tighten into this thing. This thing can still turn. There's nothing you can do. There's no screw. So if you hit a palm or basically anything, if this roll is not as smooth, this thing will rotate left and right, which is kind of annoying. That means your butt is gonna turn right or left. So that's the main issue so far. I mean, before it was even more loose, I can easily turn this by one hand, but now I try to tighten it myself, but I can still turn it very easily, as you can see. And then the second issue, so that's my first issue. The second issue is the speedometer, which I talked about in my review video already. Even though this scooter can go at least rated at 28 miles per hour, and you can go higher, faster than that on downhill. However, the speedometer only shows up to 27 miles per hour. It won't show 28 or anything higher than 27. It will still shows 27. So this is not a major issue, it's a minor one. However, the old Evercross H5, it actually doesn't have this limit. It will show all the way up to 30 some miles per hour. So not sure why the new one, it only shows up to 27, which isn't even the top speed of this scooter, which is very weird. And then the next thing is the P setting. So the P setting for this one, it doesn't work. Almost doesn't work. So to go to P setting, you hold down these two buttons for 2 seconds or 1 second, then you will go to P setting. But now you want to change the setting, it won't change. So if you press the red button, it's just go to the next one, the next setting. I cannot change any setting at all. If I press this one, it doesn't do anything. As you can see, it doesn't do anything. If you press the red one, it just go to the next one. If you press twice again, it will just bring you back to the main screen. So you cannot adjust any settings. The only way I could do that is I just randomly press it, doing crazy things, and I didn't even know how I did that. I just waste like 10 to 15 minutes just to press crazily, and eventually some of them works, but not everything. So, but the old H5, it works perfectly. It doesn't have this problem. So again, this is the issue for the new one. And then the next issue, the fourth issue I have, is the vibration from these new off-road tires. So the old one, as you know, it has on-road tires, but the new one, it comes with these off-road tires, which has a off-road pattern. And this pattern, this off-road thing, makes the scooter vibrates a lot at any speed. So at low speed, even you're just pushing this thing will vibrate pretty crazily. And at high speed, I mean, at high speed is less noticeable because it's traveling so fast. However, you can definitely feel the vibration because of these off-road tires. Again, it's a minor issue, but I don't think this is an off-road scooter anyway. But as you know, I have a mirror over here. On the OH5, I have no issue looking at the mirror at top speed or high speed. But this one, I found a very hard time just to look at the mirror because the mirror was shaking so badly because of these off-road tires. And then my fifth issue are the noise from the front suspension. So the front suspension, I mean, when I was traveling on a very smooth road, there's no noise, of course. However, if you hit anything, even small things, there will be a loud sound coming out. And it also kind of sounds like a bottom out sound, but I'm not sure. But basically, anything big or small, it will have a bang sound. And then my next complaint, the sixth one, is the handlebar and the stem. So this part over here, it actually has some play in it. So what that means is that, of course, this scooter has adjustable stem, so you can adjust the height of it. However, this thing, again, I try to tighten it as hard as possible. However, as time goes on, eventually this thing will kind of get a little bit loose, and this thing will come loose. So that means when you turn the handlebar, this would not turn exactly the same as this one. So there's a little bit of play in it, so which might affect the turning and the handling of the scooter, might affect the safety as well. And also is not exactly center, so it's slightly tilted to the right at sometimes. So I feel like my left arm extends slightly more forward than my right arm because this handlebar, it's not perfectly perpendicular to this thing, so it's slightly turning right. So it should be like this, right? But sometimes it's like this. So it's not perfectly balanced, and there's some play on it. And some people, one commenter told me this thing inside is plastic, so it's kind of filmy, and you know, I couldn't see it from here, but they said inside is plastic. So that's my complaint. And then the next complaint, the seventh one, is the handlebar is pretty far from the seat. As this one, you cannot adjust the position of the seat. You cannot move the seat forward, unlike the 9 Max, which you can. And as you know, this scooter, they push the front wheel around 2 to 3 inches forward because of this new folding mechanism over here. So now it's pretty far. If you're sitting down, I have to stretch my arm all the way. Not just that, I have to lean forward. So my back have to lean forward because the handlebar and the seat is pretty far away right now. The old one is kind of okay. It's pretty far already, but this is even more further away because this is a very long scooter. So that's another minor issue. And then the eighth issue is the front LED is pretty dim. I'm not going to show it right now, but actually it's almost useless at night. And that's why on the manual of this scooter, it actually says don't ride it at night. At first I was like, is that a joke? But actually I agree with that. It is very dim. It doesn't show anything. It doesn't light up anything. You're better off getting a custom light, or don't ride it at night. And then my ninth complaint is the kickstand. Well, this is a very minor complaint. It's just, you know, it's just like the old one. This happened on the old one as well. Same for the light. It's basically not a very good kickstand. Most scooter, the kickstand is under the deck over here, but this one is on the wheel, so it doesn't tilt very much. As you can see, it's pretty straight, which is a bad thing because it can easily overturn to the right side. I mean, easily, even a slight wind. Or if you accidentally hit your scooter, it will fall to the right side. And then my last issue and complaint is the range. And then again, this is just a minor one because I realized this scooter, the new one, has slightly less range than the old one. But I think that is due to the the off-road tires. Because this is a beefier, a much wider tire than the old one, so probably heavier as well. And also the pattern, the off-road pattern, which creates the vibration, it also hurts the range of the scooter. And also, I think the power, they might increase the power slightly. I think this acceleration is slightly better, slightly more powerful, especially going uphill. It goes slightly faster than the old one, so that's why, maybe that's why it hurts the range. So this one, before, the old one can go around 20 miles. This one might be 18 miles. That's my estimate. So those are my 10 issue and complaints so far. And again, my biggest complaint is the seat post. I mean, the seat top keeps turning, keeps rotating, and also the speedometer and the P setting doesn't even work. That's my biggest concern. And maybe the stem thing that kind of wobbles, not exactly perpendicular. But again, this seat kind of turns, you know, as you can see, trying to turn this. You can turn this, let you see. I can turn this because the inner part here, there's nothing to secure it. And this is already at its tightest setting, but it doesn't matter because this one only holds the outer post, not the inside post over here. So anyway, these are my 10 complaints so far. So thanks for watching and have a nice day.